morning to you. Thank you so much for staying on the AM show. We are grateful that you make time every morning to join us. Now it's time to have that conversation about the e-levy. You know, it started on the 1st of this month. Today is the 30th. So we're just assessing the progress of implementation 1 month on. I know a lot of you still have questions, and we are told that education will continue. I've got Patrick Frimpong-Danso with me. He's a member of the e-levy technical committee, and we'll be having that conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing well.
Very well.
Before we go into any details about the e-levy proper, just help us understand what the role of the technical committee is.
Okay. Thank you, and then I also say good morning to your viewers. The technical team was formed to make sure that the implementation of the e-levy will go smoothly. So we have duties like making sure that we put enough education out the public there. We also guide all the charging entities. We also take the law and they interpret the law as we understand it by law to the charging entities so that they will know their obligations under this act. So basically, the Act 1075. We are also in charge of that one, making sure we are breaking it down so that everybody will understand the act and how we can operationalize the act. Okay. So that is the committee's work. It's a huge thing that
So let's single out education for now, because right on this show, one of your colleagues was here, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we realized that a lot of people didn't really understand what this e-levy was all about, especially when it came to implementation and what it will cost them. So tell us, since we started, how far you've gone in terms of education and what exactly the specifics you've been doing.
Okay, all right. We've done a lot of education. Some of them we started even from some of your radio stations and other sisters radio station. We've done that one. What we've done is we have trained all our officers throughout the whole country.
That's the GRA?
GRA, yes. And 2, we also partner Information Service Department. We did it in Kumasi. I was the person who was doing the resource person. Okay. And then we trained them, and they are going to the grassroots.
Have they started that
They've started. They are doing that one with our offices at the local level. So let's say if you go to, let's say, Mampon, GRA is there. They have the partner, the Information Service Department there, and then they do the education. So we started education, a lot of education. You know, when this levy came out, a lot of misconceptions were in the public domain. People didn't understand it very well. So I always tell people that the name is what it means. It means electronic transfer levy. So that when people were saying that if you are going to cash out, they will charge you. If you are going to cash in, they will charge you. They were not part of it. Foreign remittances were not part of it. Also, a lot of things that we have explained now. I'm sure I was, when I think the second day when we went live, I was at your sister station, that is Adom FM. And the question was put, and I explained to them. So most of them were saying that they didn't understand it well, but now they are getting, once GRA is taking over and they are explaining things, now people understand it. So the education, I can say that we've done a lot, and we are still doing more.
Let's go to the genesis of the e-levy, talking about policy credibility issues and all that. 1 month on, have we achieved that, or are we in the process of achieving what we set out to get from the e-levy?
Okay. I will say that, you know, for every system that you implement, there will be some challenges when you start, especially when it comes to technology, and then 2, when it comes to people who don't understand the whole thing. You have some issues. Yes, we have moved forward. We started 1st May. That was when we are doing what we call the modified phase approach, meaning that we are asking the charging entities that, you know, charge whatever transaction that comes in, but make sure that you bear it in mind the exemptions. Like the 100 cedis a day, you have to make sure you observe it, then do all those things. Then after that, come and account to us. We have seen some challenges. Now, some of the challenges that we have seen is that where you move money from your own bank account to your wallet, it's supposed to be exempt under the law. But you find out that when you move the money, the bank deducted the e-levy. Okay, then they're not supposed to do that. Then what happened? You have to report to your bank that you are the same person, the bank has to reverse it. We're having those challenges. But I can say that so far we've done a lot. Okay. And our target, like where we are looking at, meaning that our charging entities that we know that they are the people that we are looking at, so far they are doing well with us. All the transactions that we are seeing is good.
Okay, let me put the question this way. How much have we made after 1 month? Are we able to tell this is the amount of money we've made? Because there's a target we are hoping to reach at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much of that have we made?
Yeah, we can't
after
put that,
1 month.
we don't have the figures right now, because now, as I said, the modifier, the charges are deducting the money. Just like here, Joy FM at the end of the month will take your PAYE and come and pay. When they take the money, until you report to GRA, we don't know how much.
So the charging entities haven't reported to you?
Yes.
When are we hoping to get the first initial report?
Yeah, by the end of the month, that's the first day. We are looking at the end of this month.
Which is tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. Once they finish that, then after that, then they have some days to come and report to us. Mind you, we have a lot of few issues that are coming up. Reversals, where a wrongful charge has been done. They have to correct all those things and do reconciliation. Then they come and report to us. So that if you have any figure, let's say you have X amount and you put it out there, then you come back and said, oh no, some of this X amount you put out there, they were reversals. We have done that one, and then it has reduced the money or it has increased the money. So we need to be very careful before we put out that. Commissioner General has promised that after the end of this first period, he will come out and tell the General about how much GRA has collected in respect to the e-levy.
Okay. So, but are you able to tell us then, because it appears now that you don't have the figures, but are you able to tell us from your observation and interaction with the charging entities what the rate of compliance is? I'm asking this because, you know, at the beginning of its implementation, we had a lot of people threatening to withdraw their monies from their mobile money platforms and all that. But, I mean, do you have any figures to indicate that any such major thing happened where you had loads of people, you know, getting off the platform?
Okay. For now, we will not have it because the EMIs have not given us any data on that one. But according to them, when we meet them some months back, they were saying that, you know, for every system, once a new thing that is coming out, people will withdraw a bit. So they can tell us that maybe the volume of transaction might not be like before. And even before the e-levy, people started withdrawing from this transaction. So we understand that maybe for the first 1-2 months, transaction will not be like it is. But going forward, let's say we are looking at targeting ourselves from August going, we will see that transaction will be moving up again. Because basically, that would be the best way to do, to work right or to send money to somebody, rather than you going there physically to send money. It's better to sit comfortable in your bedroom and send money to anybody, rather than say that I'm going to take a car to send this money. So I think that transaction will move on when somewhere in August we'll know that it will go up. Just beginning, people will start want to see, let's wait and see what is happening. And then that's why it's happening. But we know that it will move forward.
You spoke about the refunds, the reversals of monies that were wrongfully deducted. Are the companies able to do this smoothly, or you're still having issues with them?
We don't have. When we started the first 2 days, one of the EMIs, that one of the telcos were charging people when you are even sending less than 100 Ghana cedis. They are imposing the e-levy. That is when it's off net. But within their net, they don't charge you when it's less than 100, but they are charging you when it's off net. So we realized that and we prompt them, and they've done the reversal. The first day they reversed 128,000 transactions. The second day was 104,000 transactions that has been reversed. So once they get to know that it's a wrongful charge, immediately they do the reversal and they report back to us. So at the end of what we'll see, at the end of this month, we will see all reversals that were done, wrongful charges that were done, and then the reversals that were also accompanied this transaction. So I'm sure we will get to know the bigger picture when they submit their data to us by the end of the month.
So where are we with the full rollout? We know that this is a phased approach.
Yeah.
We are entering the next month.
Yeah.
So where are we with the full rollout?
Okay. The full rollout, we are starting 1st July. 1st July, we are expecting that the full rollout, this means that what is going to happen, and let me explain this one. GRA has got a common platform. We have built a common platform. That common platform is where all the charging entities will come to find out whether that transaction should be levied or not levied. So, for example, if you wake up in the morning and you are sending, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis from your wallet to another person's wallet, then once you initiate that transaction, the charging entity will be maybe if you are using, let's say, Alter Tigo, the Alter Tigo will come to our platform and say, GRA, I'm doing this transaction, this person is doing this transaction. What should I charge? Then the system will go and check our database and say that, okay, this person is where the money is going is a different person, and therefore it's 100 cedis. This is the first time he's doing the 100 cedis, and therefore it's 0.
Okay.
We don't compute the tax, but we tell them the amount they should charge on. So we say that, okay, charge the 1.5% on 0, meaning that it's 0 amount. Now, let's say in the afternoon, you decide that you want to send another money to maybe your producer, and you say you want to do, let's say, 200. You initiate the transaction, and then the Alter to go will send it to GRA, our common platform, and say, you know, GRA, this person is doing this transaction, and can you tell us how much we should charge? Or what we should levy? Then they will say, okay, he has done first 100 Ghana cedis, and this is 200 Ghana cedis. Okay, then we say that levy the 1.5 should be on the 200, and then they will compute the 200, 1.5% on the 200, and then ask you to pay. So the common platform is going to do a lot of things, like when you are moving money from your bank account and you are the same person. The bank will come to that platform and say that this person has got this account, and this is the kind of card number he's using, that person is using. He's moving money to this wallet. Then we can tell, because we have the SIM card registration data with us, and said, oh, he's the same person, therefore charge zero. So the common platform is where we are going in 1st July. And as I sit here right now, 9 o'clock, we are starting meeting the charging entities. They are 62 in number that we are looking at. Our target is that we want to have
62 charging entities?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, huge. And our target for the committee is that we want to have 90% ready for 1st July. And this 90%, we are taking them, all the banks, all the EMIs, that is the telcos, all of them, and then all the PSPs. These three, they are the major players in this. And once we have them, we have about 90-95% of the transaction in our ecosystem. The rest, like being the rural banks and then the savings and loans bank, are not much, and they don't do huge transactions. So the way we are looking at is the 90% or 95% is looking at the EMIs, the banks, and then also the PSPs.
So there were concerns that the implementation of the e-levy will cause some distortions in the general tax structure. You know, so somebody says, I run a company, you come and buy from me, I pay tax to GRA, okay. But you come and buy from me, you pay with Momo, and then we are taxed again. And so people feel like people may want to have a way of, you know, cutting corners. And so this is not from, you don't need the charging entities to give you this. I mean, from GRA's point of view, do you see any change in the general tax structure since the e-levy was introduced?
Yeah, what we are looking at it from GRA is that we want to broaden the tax net and bring in more people now. In the law, in the 1075, the Act 1075, we're stating that we have something called specified merchant payment. Now, this is how it works. If, let's say, you have a shop and you have gone to MTN to get their merchant code, that is one step. Now, once you have the merchant code, it means that if I come to you and buy, you can say, oh, you can pay through this code, and I will do that payment now. If you give me that code, and I do that transaction and pay to you, what we need to do is that, one, whether your company or your entity has registered with the GRA. So if you are registered with the GRA, whether for income tax or VAT purpose, then it means that that transaction that I will do, when I'm paying you, I won't pay the e-levy. So it means that if you are not registered with GRA for the income tax or VAT, and I'm paying you, they will deduct, although I'm a merchant. We are saying that once you know that you have a merchant account, come to GRA and can be compliance. Say that, GRA, I have this business. I want to pay my income tax. So that all my customers, when they are making payment to me through this platform, they will not be levied. So we are bringing people who are not already in the tax net into the tax net. But if you go to some of the shops, like if you go to Kuala, they pay taxes to GRA, we know them. So if I go there and they give me a short code for payment, when I do that one, I don't pay the e-levy. So it's one of the things that we are looking at it, that we are going to rope in more people onto the platform, because if I'm doing business with you and it's going to cost me more, I'll prefer going to another person that is cheaper. So we are looking at it that all those who have got merchant accounts and if not registered with GRA, we expect that they will come and register. And in this case, they will pay income tax, and therefore their customers, when they are paying you, they will not suffer the e-levy.
And so to the business person who's watching us, I'm also thinking they are wondering, would it cost me more? I mean, I know legally they're supposed to pay their tax, but people find ways to evade it. Obviously, they do a lot of calculations. So would it cost me more if I pay my income tax? Or if I don't, and allow my customers to pay the e-levy?
Okay. Now, what is going to happen is that all the charging entities are giving us their merchants. So we have the data. We have them. So if let's say your name is part of the merchant, we will go to our database and find out whether you are paying tax or you're not. If you are not paying tax, we'll tell the charging entity that, this person that you have brought is not paying tax. Therefore, we cannot include that person. And two, we will ask our compliance team to come after you so that we recognize your business.
Okay, so this is interesting. So are you telling me that moving into the future, we're going to see people who are merchants who may not have registered with the GRA, probably taking off their platforms I mean, by the telcos? Is that
No, the telcos might not do that. But what we have is that we cannot include you for exemption.
Okay.
Until you are come and then you register with us and you comply with our terms.
But what does the law say?
Do
we have anything specifically in the law addressing merchants who are not paying their income tax or VAT and all that?
For that one, in our law, our normal law that we used to work is there that if you are not paying, we can come to you and then make sure that we bring you into our tax net. We can come, we advise you, we invite you, we advise you, we tell you what to do. You come, you fill all the forms, and then we keep on. We don't go and then start, let's say, grabbing people to by force. We come to talk to you. Sometimes the person doesn't know. We educate the person on the tax issues and say, oh, you know something, this is what you are doing. You need to pay this tax, and then you can help you to do this A, B, and C. So we will take all the list, those who are not on our books, and then we'll go and tell them that we invite them to our offices and tell them, this is what you are supposed to do per the tax laws. And then we advise them and then they will comply. I know most of them, when we go and then we ask them that you're supposed to come to our office, let's have a discussion and help you to file your return, they come. So what will happen at the end of the day is that the e-levy will help GRA to expand the tax net.
What is GRA's end-of-year target for e-levy?
For the e-levy, for the committee, we don't have the data on how much we are supposed to, but we know that there has been a revised for the target, the initial target. So we are waiting for the final document.
Okay. So initially it was about 6.9, moved to 4.5.
Yes, we have.
But you're not able to confirm to me right now what exactly it is.
Yes, we need to wait for we have to have official letter saying that now this is the target that we are telling you. For us at the public service, we don't just say things. We have to make sure that there's a documentation that we can quote. So for me, if I can't sit here, I can't say anything unless I have a letter that's saying that maybe the ministry is saying that we have done our research, we have revised our target now. This is the target we are giving to GRA. Then we can speak to that one.
Okay, so is it that as at the point of implementation on the 1st of this month, we didn't know what we were setting out to take?
Oh, by all means, I know that we know, the policymakers know. But the question, what I'm saying is that in such situation, you don't come out with figures that you are not authorized.
Okay.
Because for public service, I will not sit on public radio and give figure that I've not seen any letter accompanied. Okay. What I can refer to is the one in the budget, which we all know. That was the initial one. That one was supposed to start 1st February.
Yes.
And now we are starting. We started May. So they have to sit down and then do their calculation. And
there was a revision to about 4.5.
Yes. So the revision, we had that one. So we need a letter or something that is saying that GRA, these are the target for the e-levy. Then we can take it. For us, it is right now. We'll wait for that target to come. But I'm sure by when Commissioner General comes out by end of this month to tell us how much we have got, he will also mention the target for the rest of the year.
So there are issues about third-party transactions being executed by vendors. There are concerns about that, right?
That's a huge challenge that we have right now. We read and we heard some interviews that the vendors were saying that, if you come and you put the money on your wallet and you send, they'll charge you, but me, I'm exempt, so let me send the money on your behalf. And they know that it's illegal. You cannot go to a vendor and say, that vendor, take 200 Ghana and send it to my mother in the village. No. When you go to the vendor, they're supposed to do only two things. One is to do a cash out and cash in. So either you are withdrawing money or you are putting money on your own wallet. Now what they are doing is that when you go, they will say, okay, this thing has been happening some years back, but many don't know that it was illegal. You go and say, take 200 and send it to my mother.
But this has been happening for a very long time.
And we were shocked when we met the EMIs, and then we said that when we look at we are coming out with how we're going to charge. We said that we're going to charge third party sending money, so that if you go to a vendor and you're sending money to somebody, you're going to charge a e-levy. And they say, no, that one is illegal. They're not supposed to do that. So we were shocked. That was the first time we heard that and said, but they have been doing it. That's their normal thing. They say, yes, it's illegal. According to them, they block them when they find out that you are doing that. But right now, as it is right now, they are cashing in. There's a way to go about it, and we can solve that, and it's going to be used by technology. That will be the only way we can do. Because I know when I went to Kumasi and I did a presentation, somebody told me that he went to a vendor that he wanted to send money to somebody in Accra. The vendor said he cannot do that. He was shocked. But he went to the next door, the guy took it and then did the transaction. So some people are afraid to do that, but some are also doing it. Now, with the technology that we are going to solve this problem is that if you are going to send money, You are going to put money on your wallet. You are supposed to be there. The phone must be with you. So when I go to the vendor and say that I want to send money to you, and let's say you are in Dansuma, and I'm doing the transaction here, the vendor will put in all the details, the person's number. Then when he is going to send it, the system will check whether the phone is within a radius. If it's not there, the transaction will fail. We are going to make sure that if the telcos don't force their members to go do it, we are going to employ that technology.
Okay, so is this illegal because it is coming from the vendor? Let's bring it home. I'm in the office. I need to send you money. And I go to my producer and I say, oh, take this cash and send to Patrick for me. Is it that entire transaction that is illegal, or it is the vendors executing that transaction that makes it illegal? I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it.
Just like you said, if you give the money to your vendor, the e-levy will apply because your vendor is not exempt. But when you go to the vendor, when he's sending it to your mother, that one, he's exempt. So it means that the person is dodging the e-levy.
No, so I'm saying that, so my producer is sending the money to you.
Yes.
So is that transaction, he's not a vendor, he's just a friend and a colleague. Is the transaction illegal?
No, that one is not illegal. It's the agent. The agents are not supposed to do that. But for me, if I'm in the office with you and you say that, oh, but I need some money to send, but I don't have money on my wallet. So can you send me 500, take the 500 and send it from your wallet to a friend. He's buying something for me. It's not illegal.
Okay.
That one, the person that is doing that transaction, the e-levy will apply because it's not exempt.
Okay.
2, the vendor, they're supposed to do only 2 things. They're not supposed to take money and send on behalf of somebody. So if you, in the office, we do it always, oh, I need 200 for something. Charlie, I have the cash, take it, and then send it to somebody for me. They do it.
Okay. So the illegality is not about the transaction itself, but about the person?
The person, those that are doing that. Because the vendors are not supposed to do that.
Okay.
Because they are a unique entity that we see them in the ecosystem.
So this new technology you're talking about that would try to deal with this, when do we hope to introduce it?
We are having a meeting with the charge entities from today up to Wednesday. Okay. Commissioner General sitting, and Minister of Finance sitting, sorry. We are going to have a meeting with them, telling them that these are the challenges that we are facing. They have to come out with a way they have to solve it. But we know that there's this technology that we can use. Okay. Even with the charging entities, the EMIs, they know. If a transaction is from here to Kumasi, they know. And some of the things that they do, they told us they do is that when they see that you are doing transactions that are off, they are doing out of your region, when you come and say that you have done 100 and they sign out that 50 is off your region, they can say that they won't pay you for that.
Okay, that's so as an agent.
Yes, that's an agent. So they are aware of these things. And their system can tell where the transaction is coming from and where it's terminating. So they can tell. So we are having a meeting with them, and also Bank of Ghana is a regulator because now they are being treated as a fintech. So that they are telling them that the law says that don't allow your members to do this. So you have to enforce that thing. As we go along, we might use technology to stop that.
You say you're meeting with the EMIs, but is there going to be any meeting between the mobile money agents themselves?
Yes. We are the association. It's a whole week program from today till Friday. We are meeting from today to Wednesday. We are meeting all the charging entities, the banks, the EMIs, the PSPs, and all of them. Then we are going to meet some groups, and one of them is the agent, the vendors association. So we are meeting them to educate them, to tell them what they are supposed to do. And we're also telling the EMIs, especially the agents, that they should advise them so that they desist from doing this transaction. Okay,
so we are receiving some questions and comments on our social media platform, and there are people, who are a bit concerned that you are not able to tell us how much we've been able to rake in since it started. But Patrick works with the GRA, yes, but you may be aware that we are transitioning to a point where the EMIs or the charging entities will be on one platform. So it will be easy for the GRA to have oversight responsibility. But as it is now, they have to depend on the data that will be given them by the EMIs. And they haven't gotten that yet. Hopefully, you will get that this week, Mr. Frimpong has explained. So don't worry, we will get the figures once they have put out. So Franklin Eche is asking a question about, how about if you did not register his SIM for mobile money, and went to a merchant to send money to his mother in the village? I think that's in relation to what we were just discussing about the agent. So he's saying that, okay, I don't have a mobile money account, so I can't do a cash in or a cash out. I need somebody to send money to my mother. So I go to the mobile money agents. And then I say, take this money. I don't have a mobile money account. My mother needs money urgently. She needs to go to the hospital. It's an emergency. How is that illegal? Yeah,
because the agent is not supposed to do that. Then you can use the channel that you said that. You can tell your friend that, I need money to send to my mother. And this is the money. So take it and then send it to my mother. Instead of going to the agent. Because the agent is exempt. You get me? So with that one, then you know that the e-levy will be applied. And two, what does it take to get convert your SIM into a wallet? It's very simple. Since you know that you'll be doing businesses or you'll be sending money, once you have a SIM, the EMIs think that you should have your wallet so that in case you need it, you can. If you don't need it, you don't use it. But I know people who don't have wallets. So such people, if they want to do anything, they might come to you. Oh, can you send money and take the money for me? And that one is done. But you can't go to the agent and do that transaction. Yeah, that one.
So Franklin, I hope your question is answered. But it's an interesting point he raises, because I'm sure there are a lot of people. I mean, until recently, I wasn't on mobile money. I didn't see a need to be on mobile money. I think I got on a few months before the e-levy was introduced. So I know there are a number of people who may just have a similar situation to what Franklin Eche is saying. So there are a lot of people who are still really against the e-levy, and I'm seeing all the comments here. Some of them are quite unprintable language, so I cannot read it on air. But if you have any questions, we are streaming live on Facebook. You can drop your questions in the comment section, even as we start wrapping up this conversation on the e-levy a month on. So basically what we've been talking about is where we are currently and where we hope to be by the 1st of July. We know that we're going to roll out the full phase of this particular e-levy. Mr. Frimpong-Danso is not able to tell us whether we've been able to achieve our policy credibility. You may be aware the reason we went for the e-levy, we were having issues with our policy credibility. We needed to prove that we could pay off our debts, prove that there's more revenue coming in. So government decided, okay, let's introduce the e-levy. And we missed the first quarter because it was supposed to start in February. There was a lot of pushback. Government did town hall meetings. Eventually, on the 1st of May, the e-levy started. Now, Mr. Frimpong-Danso again tells us that he's not able to tell us now what GRA's end-of-year target is. They are meeting. There is a revision, but he's not able to give us a figure, so we will be on his neck to furnish us with the details once he's able to get that from the right quarters. And then we'll be able to know where we are now in terms of how much we've accrued after 1 month, what our policy credibility is, and whether based on the figures we have been able to accrue this month, whether we are on course to meeting our end-of-year target. So those are all questions that have not been really answered, but we will get the answers now. So also about education, because he belongs to the technical committee that's largely responsible for that. There are concerns that we're doing this in English language, and a lot of people may not properly understand, because it's a technical issue, and so they want language that is easy to understand and goes down to everybody. What's your plan? Because you spoke about education. Yeah,
yes. I told you I went to Kumasi.
Yeah.
We meet the Information Service Department. Yeah. And they are changing it to the local language. That's what they're doing. So when you go to the local level, they have given all the languages, Dagbani, everything. They are explaining it in that terms for them.
What format are they using?
They are using town halls and also radio education. Most of them listen to radio, and they're also doing some groups meetings. They have small associations, also going to churches and the mosques and all those places. So they are now taking over. They are doing that one with our officers in the local level.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'd like us to get very interactive at this point. You can call us on 0302 211 691 extension 2, 0302 211 691 extension 2. If you call, I'd like you to tell me if any of these Information Service Department people have reached you, because we want to just check the extension of this education he's talking about, whether it's gotten down to the grassroots, and let us know what your thoughts are, what your experience also is a month on after the implementation of the e-levy. We've also spoken about the rate of compliance and whether there's still inertia. From what I'm reading on Facebook, there are people who are still upset about this whole e-levy business. But let's hear from Eric. He's joining the program from Kumasi. Good morning, Eric. How are you doing? Let's hear you.
I'm doing great. Please, I want you to ask your man for me. Now, the man know how well merchants struggle to get e-cash to transact business for their customers. So, if the merchant go and struggle to get the e-cash to sell for a customer, and you are telling him now you can't send it direct to the person. Sometimes a merchant pays before he or she gets the e-cash. You get it? So going to pay for a service. And when you are rendering that service, they are trying to tell you it's not possible. Then it means they are gradually going to decline this mobile money business. Like, it gradually comes to
Eric, are you an agent?
Yes, please.
You're an agent. So what you're saying is that when you take the money and you send it on behalf of the person, you record it, and then your mobile money service provider pays you back, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that there are still times and agents will not have the electronic cash.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
So when a customer comes, an agent pays for at a different agent in order to get that electronic cash to that transaction. You get it? Sometimes you will call, I need 200 electronic cash to make some transaction. Then the free agent will tell you, okay, then I'll charge you 1 cedi. You get it? So you pay for the 1 cedi in order to come and get the 2 cedi from the customer. So you're going to pay for that amount to come and just do a deposit for the customer.
Okay. Eric, thank you for joining the program. We'll take a few more calls and I'll have Mr. Frimpong-Danso respond to them. Gideon joins us from Kutubabi. Good morning, Gideon. Let's hear you.
Good morning, madam. I want to ask the man, is he saying that when you go to an agent to transfer money to your, maybe your neighbor or your family member, it's not allowed?
Yes, that's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying.
Yes.
Has it been introduced? Was it there when the mobile money introduction came in, or is it because of the e-levy that it has come?
So we are actually told by the telcos, right?
So
that is not allowed. I'm not sure he can speak for the telcos, but what we know is that the telcos in a meeting said that transaction is illegal. So we need to get to the telcos and find out from them if this education went down when the mobile money, transactions were introduced.
Okay, so, let me say, let's be truthful. Sometimes you see this e-levy, if the government wants money from transferring money even through vendors, the government can give a threshold. At least when you send at least up to 20 Ghana, you don't pay any more money over there. So that means when you are even sending through vendors, you are sending through your phone, you will still pay the e-levy. But this is where the vendors are exempted. For me, it is convenient for me to go to the vendor and send money. If I'm sending 10,000, the government will take over 1,500 from me.
Okay.
I will easily go to the vendor and pay maybe 20 Ghana for it.
Okay. Thank you for your suggestion, Gideon from Kutubabi. Let's go to Kumasi again. This time it's Karim. Hello, Karim. Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, please. Assuming that if I don't have a mobile money account there, and I want to give my brother money, or my father, how will you do it?
Okay, well noted. Thank you very much. Straight to the point, Karim from Kumasi. Okay, so let's respond to these three, and then we'll pick some few more calls. So there's Eric from Kumasi, who is an agent, right? And he has concerns. Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, but I'm surprised that Eric was saying that because he knows very well that that is illegal. You know, when you go to the vendors and you put money on your wallet, they don't charge you.
Yes.
But when you say you are sending money to somebody, they ask you to give them money, physical money. The system they are using know that you are going to convert physical cash into electronic on your own wallet. So that's why the telcos themselves, they don't charge you. So they use that transaction to send money to others. So they pretend as if they pretend as if the person is with them, is standing there just like you go and say, put money on my wallet. That's what they're doing. So that one is know that he is very much aware that that is wrong. And I'm sure the EMIs have told them, they signed a contract with them, told them the rules. And it's coming from Bank of Ghana. So they are aware. So those things that they are saying that, oh, why are we saying that now? They are aware. We were not aware till this system came in. So that one, that is one. Then the other person is saying that when you go and then you are transferring money to somebody, as I said earlier on, the system looks as if that you are sending money to your own self. That's why we can't charge. He's saying that we should be able to charge that transaction so that people can do that transaction. No.
I think what I heard him say was that you should give a certain threshold. So you can allow the mobile money agent say, okay, you can give the mobile money person up to 500 cedis cash to send on your behalf. After 500 cedis, it's not allowed.
Okay.
That's how I understand.
That's what you understand. But because the system they are using can identify these two transactions, that's why they have a way of doing this thing. Let me tell you, if I go and say I'm sending money, I'm putting money on my wallet, that's allowed. If I say I want to withdraw money on my wallet, it's allowed. Now, the third one which they are doing, sending money to others, which is not allowed, they are using the first one, sending money onto your own wallet. That's the process they are using to send. So how can GRA know that this one is the same person or is going to another person?
So the mobile money agents are using this to make money?
That's how we see it.
Okay.
And the EMIs, we have told them that they have to make sure that they make it clear. And look as if they don't, some of the agents don't even understand this thing. We are meeting them, as I said, we are going to make it. We are asking the Bank of Ghana to come into, to whip them into line because it's illegal.
So Karim from Kumasi, he says, okay, I need to send money. I don't have a mobile money account.
Yeah, then how do you do it? Just like you said that, oh, you want to send money to somebody. Oh, my friend, you have a mobile money account. Can you take the money and say no? That one you can do that, but you can't go to the vendor and do that one.
And you know, creating an account. I mean, I learned this myself a couple of months ago. It's not a difficult process. Yes. So, I think that's the argument from the side of the GRA and the EMI. So, Otis from Kumasi. We're getting quite a number of calls from Kumasi today. Thank you for joining us. Let's hear you.
Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Otis calling from Kumasi.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually appreciate you for such a program, and education giving us this very much. My worry is about sending money from your phone to bank or your bank account.
Okay.
The education that he was actually giving us was a bit skeptical, and I would like you to throw more light on it for us to be clear about that. And you were privileged yesterday to have these Information Service Department officials to brief us yesterday in our church.
In your church?
In our church yesterday.
In Kumasi?
I think they are doing very well.
Okay,
and
right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you for confirming that. Emmanuel from OT region. Emmanuel, how are you?
I'm fine.
Great. Let's hear you.
Yes, please. I want to know, as the man is saying, if the agent helps you to transfer money to someone, is it going to be classified as tax avoidance or is tax evasion? I want to know. And also, the e-levy is not only attached to the mobile money transaction; it's also about bank transactions as well.
Yeah.
So if they are saying you cannot give the money to an agent to send to you, then with the bank transactions, they should make it in a way that maybe you have to put the money into your own bank account before transferring it from your account to someone, instead of maybe depositing it direct into the person's account. If that's what they want to say with the mobile money, then the bank transaction will also be the same. I think that should be the case. If that's what they think, if they think maybe the agent helping you will maybe the agent is helping you to evade tax, then the bank transactions to be in that line. That's what I think.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. I appreciate your call. Do we have another caller on? We want to take a few more, then Mr. Frimpong-Danso would answer, then we can wrap up the conversation. If you just joined us, we're talking about the e-levy a month on. We've been trying to get some figures. Unfortunately, we are not being furnished with them today. Mr. Frimpong-Danso says that we will get them when the telcos updates GRA on what they've been able to accrue since the e-levy was introduced. Paul is joining us from Western North. Hello, Paul. Let's hear you. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Please go ahead. Let's hear you. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, good morning. My question is, hello?
Paul, kindly listen to me on your phone, not on the television, because there's a bit of delay.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Good morning. Hello?
Hello, Paul. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, good morning. My concern is a question to Mr. Frimpong. He explains, and as we have understood, they made us understood earlier, that the purpose of the e-levy is to extend the tax debt. But from the way things are, already those people who are already on the tax net, like government, those on the government workers generally, and even those with tax, are also on the same percentage as the general public who are even not already on the levy. I don't know why, because it has been a consent, and people are saying that it appears as if it is double tax. I don't know whether they are doing anything about that one.
All right, Paul. Thank you very much. Well noted. We'll take our last caller, I guess. Eric from Isutari. Let's hear you, Eric.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Then I want to speak with regarding what Mr. Frimpong said, that when an agent, when I decide to go to an agent and then the person wants to put the money on my wallet, there is no going to be any tax. But he made the point also that if I'm sending it to another person, that one will attract a tax. My question is, there is no way I can use the money on my wallet because it's now electronic. I cannot make any use of it without transferring or probably using it to purchase items, which will definitely attract.
Eric.
If I'm sending it to my mom, hello, if I'm sending it to my mom, it is still putting it on her wallet. If I'm sending it to my dad, it is on his wallet, and that wallet will definitely be made use of. The person will make use of the money on the wallet. So it's much ado about nothing. I'm just saying that they are just looking for every means possible to tap it. There is still wallet that it is going on to. Thank you so much. Okay.
What I get from this is that the agents are exempt from the e-levy. So that's where the concern is. So if you're exempt, and then you take the cash and you send it from your account as an agent to another, then there's no e-levy charge on that. And so the mobile money agents will be the one benefiting and not government.
Yes.
Okay, so
Even in that one, that transaction is illegal. Okay. You see, so let's look at it from the point of view of law. That thing, you are not supposed to do that. So the person doing that one is doing something that is illegal. Okay. That's why we don't tax that one, because as you know, cash in, cash out, we don't tax, there's no e-levy. Okay. You're not doing transfer, you're just converting money from physical cash into electronic, or converting your electronic money into physical cash. Okay. So basically we don't charge. Okay. Yeah.
So there's Otis, there's Emmanuel and Paul, who were, I mean, there's a common denominator, which is from mobile money to bank transactions.
Yes. Let me explain that one. You know, the law says that when you move money from your bank account onto your wallet, it's free. You don't charge the e-levy. Or when you move money from your wallet to bank, your own bank account is free. It's only when you are moving the money from your bank account to another person, then the e-levy comes in. If it's the same person, we don't charge you the e-levy. If you are moving money,
even that there's a threshold, right?
No, the threshold is, that one is bank to bank.
Not bank to
wallet. No, so the bank, from your bank to your wallet is still have the 100 Ghana cedis. Okay. So assume you want to transfer, let's say 2,000 from your bank account to my wallet, then it means that the levy will be on 1,900. Maybe if that's the first transaction that you do. Okay. If you are moving money from your wallet to your own bank account. It's free, your own, because it belongs to you. It's only when it's terminating on another person, that is where it comes in. The bank transfer has 20,000 for the whole day, just like the 100 Ghana.
That's bank to bank.
Bank to bank. I'm transferring bank. And that one too, there's a caveat. It must be an instant payment, instant transfer, meaning that as soon as you do the transaction, you have value for that money. So if I do a transaction, some of the app will tell you that this will take, let's say, 5 hours or let's say by close of day. There's no e-levy on that one. And the amount is 20,000 and above. So if I send 20,000, it's instant. I will not be charged. If I send 21,000, then they will look at the 1,000. Then yes. So that's the bank down. The bank too, the originating account must be an individual, not a company. So where you say that a company is transferring money from their account to their employees, it's not part of it.
Okay.
It's only the account where it's originating from must be an individual.
Okay. That I didn't know. That's an additional one. So, Edwin from Kaneshi, you are our last caller. Let's hear you quickly, please.
Good morning. My name is Edwin, and thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to, you see, first when the e-levy was not passed, first we were able to do our transactions peacefully. So now that the e-levy has been passed, it seems that it has given GRA the opportunity to scrutinize our transactions and all that. And it sounds very, it sounds very appalling. What exactly is going on? Secondly, GRA, all this that the gentleman is explaining, can't they give us a better education about it? I mean, all this about when I do this, when this is done, it's just confusing, and people will find a way to go around this. Also, when you say this and this is illegal, what punishment or what sanctions do you give to those who are doing the so-called illegal thing? Do you understand? Because for me like this, I'm not really a fan of this e-levy. I've not paid it. Some people are also trying not to pay it, even though you understand what I'm saying. Because the thing is scary. This, that. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Edwin, I get you. Thank you very much for joining us. We are grateful for your contributions and questions. So Edwin talks about education. We've tackled that already. So we are told that there are GRA officials and Information Service Department officials going out. We heard from someone in Kumasi who says his church was visited. So expect more education on this. Then he had concerns about what punishment. If you call it an illegality, then definitely there should be a sanction or a punishment attached.
Yes. And if I mean, this one is not being regulated by GRA. So we expect the Bank of Ghana to come in. And that's why I said we're having a meeting this week. It's going to be a meeting that we are going to address all these issues. Because they are the regulators, and they will come strongly on these EMIs to make sure that the guys are not doing what they are not supposed to do. So that one, we will look at that one. Then somebody was talking about that. It's look as if it's double taxation. People normally use that word, that double taxation. Double taxation is a separate thing that we won't talk about that one. But they are saying that, they are taxing them already, like you pay your PAYE and you are sending money to your mother and they are charging you e-levy like you are paying double tax. It's just like if you go to, let's say, any of the shops to buy something, they charge you VAT. You already have your PAYE you've paid, but they charge you the VAT. So it's in the same vein. It's not anything.
It's not double tax.
It's not the double tax that they are talking about. It's just like when you buy something from any shop and you are paying VAT, because you have paid PAYE, doesn't mean that we exempt you from the VAT.
And what's the PAYE, just so that
the PAYE is your payment. If your employer is paying you, then they deduct some money this is tax, and then they pay to GRA. That's the PAYE. So pay as you earn. That's what it means. Pay as you earn. So if you have big money, you pay more. If you have small money, you pay small. That's how the whole thing is.
Okay. So there's somebody here on Facebook, Nana Edimbia, who is saying that what is being said here is not his reality, because he transferred money from his bank account to his wallet, and he was charged.
Yes, that's why the 1st July common platform will solve all these issues. We have asked them. That's the 1st July thing. As I said, anytime you initiate transaction, it will come to GRA, and the GRA will verify whether it's the same person. They will say, don't charge. Now, what the person can do right now is that he can go back to the bank and prove to them that this wallet belongs to me, and therefore they will reverse the charges. You see, and the funny thing we have seen is that somebody will tell you that my bank, I move money from my bank account to my wallet, and they charge me. Meanwhile, the bank has been giving me text messages, SMS. So the bank should know that this wallet belongs to me. So once you go back and tell the bank that, bank, this wallet is mine. You have been sending me a message on that one. They will take the e-levy back and then put it in your account.
Okay.
So we are doing this reverse as.
Okay, so we are also told by some of the banks that there should be an actual connection between the two numbers.
Yes.
So you should actually go to your bank and say, this is my number, this is my mobile money wallet.
Yes, and then using the Ghana card as the sole this identifier.
Grateful that you could join us. Patrick Frimpong-Danso is a member of the e-levy technical committee at the GRA. We can never exhaust, all the angles when it comes to the e-levy.